Welcome to Grace on Fire, supporting one another in bravely creating with wild abandon that which sets our hearts on fire. And I am so privileged, we are all so privileged here today and honored to be highlighting this amazing man. His name is Bob Nielsen. He is a businessman. He's a Deeksha blessing giver. And he is a volunteer extraordinaire. Let's give a warm and gracious welcome to Bob Nielsen. Bob, thank you so much for being at this highlight here at the campground.
You're welcome.
And it's beautiful. And Bob has helped. Oh my gosh, he got all the wood. He's helped. I could go on forever. This camp out wouldn't have happened without Bob. Truly. And he is a volunteer. It's not like Bob, he volunteers. He has his official volunteer schedule. But he also is like always there for me, but not only me. There was a wedding the other day, and Bob, can you transport all the food? And he's right there. He's transporting all the food. That's just who he is. And it happens all the time. And so, Bob, I'd like for you to tell everybody, exactly what are some of the things you do as a volunteer?
Well, I volunteer for the Homeless Youth Center. I cook meals for them. I go to garage sales and buy leftover clothing and take it to the Homeless Youth Center. I really believe that the youth, if you can get to the youth that are at Hope, that you can change their path and that you can influence them. I also give Deeksha, which is a spiritual modality, to a rehab center. And it's, again, where you're catching these people, trying to get them to change the path that they're on, to heal themselves, to love themselves. What you see in a lot of these in the Homeless Youth Center is that the kids that are there just do not love themselves. And it's sad that these kids are homeless. And I am going to do what I can do to help them.
Thank you, Bob. And you put your whole heart and your whole soul into the homeless youth and everyone. And the Deeksha is a weekly volunteer commitment that you do, correct?
Yes.
Every week. And I mean, pretty much this man is volunteering in some way or another for someone every single day of the week. And he organizes people to get together to help. He's a pretty amazing man. There's not many human beings out there like this man in the selfless service that he gives so generously and so abundantly.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. And, I know that you are on a new career path in some ways. Some ways, yes, in some ways, no. You're starting up a new business in a field that you have been in for many years. And could you tell us about your new business venture?
I've been doing what I've been doing for about 40 years. I figure I'm pretty good at it.
40 or 4?
40.
40, okay.
40 years. I'm pretty good at it. And although I'm not an engineer or my level of education is not high, I'm just really good at what I do. And so I've decided to take a career path to become have my own business and help people, again, design systems, fuel systems. They're actually called mission critical systems, so that they will be able to service the boilers in hospitals, service data centers, service anything that's called mission critical that cannot be shut down. If you're in the hospital and you're on the operating table and the lights go out and you wake up, you can say, well, maybe Bob had something to do with that. anyway, that's my career path for my business.
And what's the name of your business?
Fuel Systems LLC. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. And I know Bob. I know him very, very well. I've known him for a long time. And this man is an expert in his field. He is an expert in his field, and he's actually very rare find. So if you're able to get his consultant services, you are very fortunate if you're any business or corporation, and that is true.
Thank you.
That is true. You're welcome. I'd like to move on to, I know you're a very deeply spiritual man, Bob. You have such a vast spiritual depth to you. Could you tell us about your spiritual path, how you got there, about your spiritual beliefs, philosophies?
I believe that there is a God. I believe he resides in every person, in every being. I believe that is when you pray or you ask for the universe, I believe that you're asking yourself. If you ask for healing, you're asking yourself for healing. The energy of the universe is there. It will say yes, but you're also asking yourself for the healing and the spiritual path that you're going to take. The body is a profound, beautiful, physical being that you have been given on this planet, and that it is physical. You're here to learn, and you're here to share that with other people. And when you pass, you take that with you. And that's my spiritual philosophy. Your energy never dies. You never die. You just take it with you. Just the physical body goes, and you go to the infinite universe.
Thank you, Bob. That's so inspiring. And Bob, you are going to be taking a wealth of wonder and grace and glory with you because of all that you constantly give, and the spiritual depth that you emanate and you share with everyone you meet. And Bob he has a really special gift. And sometimes I just love this gift that he has. Sometimes it just gets my goat a little. Because he is keen. This man is keen with language. I call him a language master. And he does not let you slide. At least he doesn't let me slide. As we're very, very dear friends, and he does not let me slide ever. Bob, would you tell everybody about your language master skills?
Wow, master. Okay. When you speak, it comes from your throat. Your throat is between your head and your heart. So everything that comes out of here is a combination of those two energy centers. If you speak, it goes out into the world. When it's only a thought, it's yours. When you speak, it goes out into the world, it goes out into the universe, and the universe hears it. And there are so many words in this language, in this English language, that are disempowering to people. I mean, we all know about would, should, but when people say things that they're going to respond to something, or you're going to respond, well, that's not really what you're going to do. You're going to create a whole new idea and give it to this person. Some people disempower themselves with their own words. It is just, there are certain words that trigger me. And I will always, and I do sometimes get in people's, a little bit in their space, but I will always ask them, isn't there a better way to say that, a more empowering way to say that? Isn't there something that gives you more choice when you speak? And that's what I believe in. And I really believe that if people spoke in more empowering terms, they become empowered, and the people that they are talking to get it. And I watch that a lot.
And Bob, he always, I say he might go, but he might catch me off guard but he always says it in a gentle and a kind and an empowered way that it really doesn't trigger. It doesn't trigger people because he just loves people and he cares. And if someone's saying something that's disempowering, whether it's me or someone else, he will have a kind, like he says, do you think there might be a better way to say that? Or do you know what maybe that might be creative? I mean, it's always gentle, it's always kind, yet it is powerful and piercing. And it wakes people up. And it has been for me. So I thank you for that gift and that talent. And I wanted to close. Do you want to share briefly what brought you into the spiritual path, Bob?
Yeah. Everybody talks about things that bring them into the spiritual world. Mine was a near-death experience. Kind of crazy that I was riding an ATV, got a concussion, had a traumatic head injury, and about 50 days later I'm driving to St. George and don't remember leaving here, don't remember the helicopter life flight back to Provo, don't remember a couple ambulance rides, nothing. And when I came out of that, after I really got back together, and it took about a year for my memory and everything to come back, when it finally showed up, and I really got to asking this question, why am I still here? What is my purpose? And I believe my purpose is to serve humanity. I believe that you share, whether it's a few cents, $1, whether you can share in speech, whether you can just share the love that you have. I believe that is what I'm here for, is to share and to create a better place for humanity. And I think as I retire, which I'm talking about doing, maybe, but I think as I get more time, I will be more available to contribute.
I would be surprised because I'm going to look forward to seeing this because he contributes so much and so deeply and so profoundly when when you say retire, I think you're retiring from the work that you do now into your business. So he'll have his own business and have a little more freedom, a little more time. And wow, watch out, world, because he already contributes so much. And I just want to share one last thing about Bob. That this is Bob. He carries these little sacks of coins worth $20, right? Correct? $20 about? In his car, with him at all times. And we're driving down the road, and we're at a stoplight, and there's a homeless person with a sign, and he grabs one of these little sacks. I don't even know where he grabbed it, like out of his back pocket. And he tosses it out the window. And that's Bob. And it's not like he's just done that once or twice. It's a part of his practice, his life practice. He's just tossing love and contribution to everybody that pulls his heart to contribute to. And I don't think I know anybody on this planet that serves and gives and shares as selflessly and generously and heartfeltly than this man, Bob Nielsen. So thank you, Bob, and thank you all for being here. Let's give Bob a warm, gracious applause for this.